Hi Steve again, so we're at the Past Players Annual Reunion today. It must be good to catch up with some of the guys from all generations really.
That's what it's all about. It's a Past Players Reunion. It's a chance to come back, meet some old friends, meet some new friends. We always say that we've all pulled the shutter, so we're all experienced playing out here behind me one time or another, and it's fantastic. So to come back and share some memories, and to bring your wives, girlfriends, family along to share that experience is even better.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see so many of the faces and from different eras. So some people perhaps I watched play when I was a season ticket holder, to some people I played with, to some people who I've watched play since I've retired or may have been involved with coaching with when I was involved with coaching in the academy.
Of course, and do you remember much from your first game at Welford Road?
First game at Welford Road was against Birmingham on a wet Wednesday night, and I think they were the sort of games when they used to sort of introduce some of the younger players. So I think I was sort of 19 and about 15 and a half stone, bulked up at that point. But remember a lot of the people from my local village team coming down to watch, and it was when the stand used to be at the far end where the Nottingham stand is. That's where we used to run out from at that particular point.
Of course, and speaking of youth, after you finished with the game, you then became a youth development officer for the rugby union, which is seen as now develop our own rugby development officers. What do you remember from the role when you first took it?
It was fantastic because I used to get involved with helping sort of with local mini rugby, so my village team of Anstey, and helping coaching. And then I had the opportunity to do it as a job full time, so I moved from being a bricklayer to sort of coaching regularly, so working with the coaches at the local clubs, working with the county teams, working with all of the local schools, primary schools, secondary schools, to try and develop the rugby and the coaching that was happening in those schools.
So John, we're at the Past Players Annual Reunion today. A great opportunity to chat to some old faces and catch up with some old stories.
Yes, indeed. I mean, there's a buzz in the room which is the same whenever we all get together again, if you can recognise some of those after 20 or 30 years later. When I stopped playing, I was in teaching in education, but then of course I was a strength and conditioning coach for the Tigers for the first 8 years of professionalism. So I had that 8-year break. Then I'm now a disability sport manager, so I'm back in education, but looking at sort of Paralympic, gifted and talented, leaders, all that sort of work.
So hi Gary, it's the Past Players Annual Dinner today. Quite an occasion, I imagine.
It's just brilliant to see your mates and your teammates and what have you. And I met at my house actually about half a dozen of us, and the joking and the camaraderie started all the way right from there. And we've just hit this room now and laughing and joking and talking about tough games, easy games, and the whole camaraderie is just so special in rugby generally, but Leicester Tigers is extra special.
So obviously you're one of the top 10 appearances at Leicester Tigers. What's it been like, and do you remember as far back as your first team?
I certainly do. My first game was against Loughborough College. It was a Wednesday night, and I can remember being at work and just feeling so weak, and I thought, Christ, I can't play. But I didn't realise it was the nerves, and once we got stuck in, it was all right. Amazing journey.